Tracked, and this is episode 3 of Vladimir the Terrible. And with me, I have Vladimir,
Hey guys.
and we're going to be playing some 2-4 deep tables, pot limit Omaha, six-handed, and we're going to analyze Vladimir's play.
Right, and we got 20 bucks spin on the left, so it should give it a lot of action. Actually, I don't like it that we are deep now with him. I feel like we have to four bet him a lot when you will, if he will be three betting a lot. I don't know. This is I feel like really tough against super good opponents. When we call three bets, we are so deep, we get bluffed off the hand unless we flop the nuts or something very strong. So probably
That's
just
one of
a
those things, actually, in PLO that doesn't necessarily translate is that because someone is 3-betting a lot doesn't mean you have to 4-bet them a lot. It depends a lot on their post-flop tendencies too, because a lot of the hands that you're going to be 4-betting that aren't aces or kings don't have that much of an equity edge that you're going to be pushing, and they're usually going to be able to play better after the 4-bet because the type of hand that you have is going to be revealed, and they're going to be able to realize their equity a little bit better.
yeah.
So if they play really poorly post flop and make mistakes like poor bet sizing on the flop or stack too light or something like that, c bet too much, c bet too little, um, a hand like even like Queen Jack 10-9 double suited, you're better off just calling. I mean, you could 4-bet it, but what's the point? You're
Yeah.
pushing a
The,
very small, if any, equity edge,
yeah.
and your edge is just going to be much better if you call and let him just play poorly.
So against a guy who is playing really well post flop, more merit into four betting.
Definitely more merit into pushing
Okay.
a small
Yeah,
edge.
yeah. Then agreed. So like no limit. Here this hand is just gonna fold. Out of position 20 bucks spin is gonna squeeze or whatever, and it just like disconnected, double suited. I think Magic Ninja actually called him, or Stinger did a lot out of position, but I think he was closing the action, and they play better than me. So, what do you think about the left?
It's a hand that I would usually fold or 3-bet. 3-betting is fine.
Right, actually, yeah. Three betting should be. I'm um called on a right the three bet by JCL. We are pretty deep. Oh, we are pretty deep with everybody, and we actually flop. To me, it looks like the nuts. I mean, we got a wrap with a flush draw, so like we can't. We are just doing great against anything besides like straight with the same wrap. I think I'm just gonna lead.
Yeah, I like that. This gets checked through a lot because
Yeah,
you don't want something like a 7 or a 9 or an
yeah.
ace to hit.
If you get raised, it's just really dirty, but we get it in. We get backdoor flush draw as well. Maybe we can actually call and nah, I don't know. Call and bluff turns. I don't know.
There's pretty much no turn, I would say, that he's
Then
going
we
to be
can
folding.
bluff. Yeah, so we like get it in. He's got the straight a lot here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the equity is. I think it's close. A jack, king
He's
jack.
got the king jack
Oh
also
yeah,
active.
yeah. So
I
we
mean,
have only
you probably have like 35%,
yeah.
maybe less.
Let's see. Big pot. He
Probably have less
had
than 35.
he had 40.
You
Oh,
have
we had
40%.
40. We had 40. Yeah, so that's overall it's fine. Once we lead, we can't fold anymore because he can have a set. He can like maybe he can have similar hand. Maybe
Right.
he just flats.
A set's the worst case
Yeah,
scenario. He's gonna
yeah,
have more equity with a set there than he does
yeah.
with Jack 8.
Yeah, I don't think he raises a set actually because we can have a straight so much. So he just calls, hopes for the board to pair. He's got position. Uh, yeah, so overall standard.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Let's see pre-flop. Pre was pretty close. I guess if we had like two backdoor flush draws, we would have like 44%, something around that.
Right.
We got like, how would you rate those aces? I mean, it's suited, but not to the ace. So I feel like nine.
Mediocre.
Okay. if it's suited to the ace 9 7, that like it's not fantastic, but it's slightly better. Well,
Definitely.
it's not slightly
Definitely
better,
much better
much
because
better.
9/7s coordinate a little bit too. That's one that in position you're going to be three betting most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we got premium hand. Is there any difference between ace king jack not ace king jack 10 or like king queen jack 10 besides the fact that you can like flop toppest pair?
In terms of pre-flop equity, there's definitely a decent amount of difference because Ace King Jack 10, or Ace King Queen Jack is going to be favored against pretty much any hand that's not aces or kings.
Yeah.
Um, or like premium queens also. Whereas this hand is going to be a dog to something like even Ace Jack 4 with like a suited ace. Um, in terms of how you play them, I mean, you're gonna probably play them pretty similarly. This is a hand that you're gonna four bet a little bit less. Three bet a little bit less, but I mean this hand's fine at three bet or
Yeah.
four bet too because not having the ace in your hand is um makes it a decent hand to three bet or four bet sometimes because those are the boards that you get to bluff.
Yeah. I'm just checking turn. I don't know. Maybe turn is a barrel, but I feel like if I have to bet the turn, I gotta bet the river, and I feel like he will not fold too much. Oh,
Right. I think this hand is
yeah.
pretty standard. Bet the
Yeah.
flop, check turn, and give up. You have no equity on the turn either when you get
Yeah.
called.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have went probably for a check raise. Let's see. His hand, yeah, I mean, he turned like just a. Well, it's not. How would you check raise in his shoes on a turn?
Yeah, I like check raising because you're going to be betting a lot of ace threes that you're going to bet fold if you don't have something to go along with them. Um, this is a good example, by the way, if you want to leave that up, of why you don't want to be check calling too many hands out of position. Um, and I mean, this is even a decent flop. You have a pair, you have an open ender, you have a backdoor nut flush draw, but against a hand that has no pair, your equity is still only 73%. You're still 27% to suck out on him. Um, which is why hands like these play much better just leading or check raising sometimes because then you don't give your opponent the opportunity to hit that 27% or 30%.
Right? Shouldn't he be even three betting pre-flop sometimes? I mean, he's got
Oh
uh,
yeah, this is a great hand. Three bet pre-flop. This is a really good
yeah,
hand, double suited.
right. So I'm here. I'm just gonna complete. I don't think anybody folds if I three bet, so I'm just gonna complete and hope to flop a set, something like flush draw. On the right, the hand that he had, if he had ace king 7 6 double suited to the ace and the king, um, I mean you three bet it probably as well.
Right.
What's the main difference between those hands? Looks like ace
Biggest
7 5 6 is a little bit more connected.
right, but the ace king 7 6 is going to make more money. The ace king 7 6 obviously is going to be a hand that you're way more likely to four bet. The ace 7 6 5 you're almost never going to four bet because of the ace in your hand.
Right. So ace king 7 6 double suited is definitely a better hand to play.
They're about equal. It
Yeah.
probably makes like ever so slightly more money, I think.
So the spot on the right when it's folded around now, I'm not too sure if calling is that great. I mean, we are in a big blind now. We just mark, but like we have to call given we got a king high suit as well, and we can flop a decent. Uh, if you flop a set, we flop top set usually, but still, I feel it's marginal out of position
It's
just to
it's
set
pretty
my.
marginal. Yeah, just to set mine with queens. If you had something like queen queen 7-3 like
Yeah,
suited to a queen, you're probably just
yeah,
folding.
yeah, yeah, definitely fold. Yeah, so like king high suit, but even then, it's here we have this looks like so great, but actually it's pretty good. But the six is not
Yeah,
so fantastic.
right. This is a really good hand though.
Yeah, given we have king high suit, ace high suit. I'm gonna three bet.
Yep.
Oh, what the hell? This guy is, I mean, he is loose, but he's like loose passive more. He is three betting. I mean, he hasn't four bet. Oh man, this is like, I guess it's close. I'm just gonna call. Place okay, I guess. I mean, I think preflop is just probably, meh. Could be a fold, I guess. In position, it's never a fold. Out of position, I don't even know.
Right. I'd probably lead this flop, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
lead the
have
turn when he checks.
you you have the six blocker also.
Yeah, I feel like he's just not gonna bet with aces on this flop.
Yeah, I agree.
So once he bets, looks like he's three bet like four bet a rundown, huh? No, he's calling a rundown. We got min raise. Here we flop this. Oh, we got two hands against this guy on the left. I know this is too loose. Actually, maybe it's not too loose. Um, he bets half pot. I think he's folding to a raise, so we're just gonna call and hope for a blank. Um, on the left, I think I'm just gonna. I don't know if he's really betting to bet fold. He should be, so I'm gonna min raise. Actually, see.
I
Yeah,
would just fold. Yeah, I don't think he's ever betting to bet fold there. I think he's usually got something
yeah.
like
It's
ace
probably
ace 2-3 or ace ace 6-9 or ace ace 8-9 or something like that. Ace ace 7-8 trying to
so.
induce a bluff.
Yeah, yeah. On the
I think
left,
I
yeah.
think leading, by the way, is much better in that spot
Then checking
than
and
just
hoping
just
he checks
checking.
back.
Right. And
Yeah, it's way cheaper also as a bluff. Just lead like for 180. Yeah. On the
right. And
left, I mean, yeah, I you get time. Ah, he bets so small on the flop, and then he bets so big on a turn. Now he pots a river. We just beat a bluff. We can have a flush. What do we have on the flush? Guess it's a fold. I don't know. The left is like really tough for me, given you could be bluffing, but like with the ace blocker, I guess. Let's see the left hand. So I just called the flop with tops. I mean, pre-flop, I came along because it's multi-way and we are on the button.
right, pre-flop is fine. You have a coordinated hand.
I flop, he bet. Oh, he didn't bet half pot. I actually figured the pot was like 88. So you bet 44. I feel like still calling is okay to pot raise the turn on a blank. Also to protect our calling range for the times we are calling with like with a float or something to bet the turn. So you bet the turn river. I guess he's not really bluffing too much overall, given we
Right.
can have.
I like how you played the hand. He's not that loose either. So I think he is gonna have the nut flush more than he's just gonna have the naked ace
Yeah,
when he bombs in on the river. And
yeah,
you don't have any spades in your hand, so it's more likely he has a flush again.
yeah. He also might bet king high flush. Who knows? And he's raising preflop only 16%, and he saw us check raising the flop and then folding, so he might not try to bluff us as much on the
Right.
left. Um, on the right, pre-flop, when you get four bet, it sucks. We have an ace, but the hand is like just hmm,
Right. I think the hand is too good, double suited, one suit to the ace, one suit to the king.
yeah.
And you do have a lot of money behind still too. So it's not like you have to get attached just because you flop an ace. If you were, let's say, 100 big blinds deep, this is a spot where,
I would
I mean, it's
fold.
painful, but you have to fold
Yeah,
this.
Would you rather have a 7, 8, 9, 10, a rundown when you get 4 bet?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It plays much better. You're almost never dominated.
Yeah, they have aces so much. So if you get you flop a pair, you can get it in with pair gutshot, backdoor and stuff. We need to start to make some money. Yeah, not much we could do in most spots so far. Oh, the guy he made a flush. Yes, he did. There we go. Um, on the left, actually, this hand where so I'm gonna squeeze this guy. 3 bet. I saw him. We have like I mean, it's not a great hand, but good enough to squeeze. I think like doubles. Actually, nah. I mean, it's fine to squeeze him, to ISO him because he's a bad player in position.
Yeah, I might just flat in this spot. One of the reasons for it is this guy's pre-flop raise percentage is 3.
Yeah, but
So
he's
he's
been min
really
raising a lot. He's been min raising. No, he's gotta be higher. Weird.
3%.
Yeah. He will.
He's raised once so far.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the hand we have here. So the action you saw him check raising. No, this is not the hand. He check raised the turn with a set and then just shoved the river himself. Shouldn't he be rather just check calling the river? Because
Check
like,
this out. Limp pot, bet min raise call, check pot, and he jams.
I mean, when he jams the river, he is getting called by a flush only. So like,
See, against the fish though, I don't think that's true. I think he can get called by
he's
just some
jammed.
random two pair. Yeah,
Okay.
something like maybe like Jack 9, 8, 10.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I figured it's better to check call given 9 10, Queen 10, King Queen, King 10 missed.
Right, but in that small of a pot, he's probably not going to bluff those.
Oh, yeah, maybe true. So on the left, I mean,
Rather,
he's
the
leading.
pot's big, but
Yeah.
with that small of a stack.
I'm just bluffing the left with like the flush draw. I think he might bet fold small, and we're just gonna bet fold the river. So
Yeah, I think this is fine. I think calling the turn is okay too against the fish.
given you bet so small,
Um, right,
just bet small. I don't think he ever calls a big bet because he can have a boat, and he usually doesn't have anything himself anyway.
right. I think the bet sizing is good there.
And he usually saw the read is that he donks small with like it's just a draw. He probably had like a flush for himself. On the right, we flop trips. We bet the flop. He calls. Just gonna bet the turn and hope we don't get raised. I feel like turn is like a protection bet, but not really too much for value because we don't really have a great six, and we are not getting called so much unless he
Right,
picked
but
up.
when if he has aces or something like king, king high flush draw, ace
Yeah,
king
he's
with
calling.
like the flush draw, or even like queens with the flush draw, he's gonna call. So
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
This should be a fold. Two pair, but like really low pair.
I would
And
open that from the cutoff actually.
okay, yeah, I
Two
felt
pair with
like
one suit.
I felt like this guy is calling too much. So we are like post flop. We have to like pure bluff a lot. I mean, we flop a set. How often do you flop a set with two pair?
About 1 and 4.
Oh, so actually that's decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a turn here, if you get raised, we just like have to fold. I don't think you will check raise. It's a bluff too much.
It's against the good player, it's a tough spot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because for a couple of reasons. One is that if they made kings fold, there's a decent chance they might slow play. Um, Another reason is also if they have something like ace king with the flush draw, or like king seven where they have the king blocker and the seven blocker, they're gonna be smart enough to know that it's a good spot to bluff. So can't necessarily fold, but against a
Yeah, against him.
player against like a non-thinking player,
Yeah,
or someone who doesn't think that deep, you can pretty much fold this.
yeah.
You're drawing dead too often.
Yeah, agreed. Here I'm gonna come along. It's not fantastic, but we're deep and I mean I don't know. Maybe is it a standard call from the blinds actually?
I would fold it. There really aren't too many rainbow hands that I'm gonna call a raise with in PLO.
Okay, yeah. I let the
E-
flop. I don't know. Nah, I shouldn't have led. Man, I think leading is actually okay.
Leading's okay. I think
Oh, maybe.
normally I'd probably just flat or rather check because I think there's a good chance the button C bets on a flop like this.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like we gotta get it in here because if he's got a queen, which he thinks is great, like queen jack, we get it in fantastic. Um,
Definitely.
he might also not fold a flush draw, and we are doing okay against queen four.
Right. You might want to make like a smaller re-raise or something like that in that spot because just for like balance
Yeah,
purposes. So if you decide to rebluff someone, you can do that. I mean, against this player, it doesn't
you
matter
don't
because
have to do it against him. Yeah.
he's never bluffing really, and he
Why
only
did
does it there.
he also like this is something you don't really see too much in a limit. Like if a guy flopped the boat in a limit, they're like, oh, I got a slow play. But in Omaha, fish is just like I gotta get the money in before the turn is gonna be a king or or a jack because then their boat is like not so
Right.
fantastic to them anymore.
Yeah,
So
post flop he played the hand right. I mean, queen four with no overcards. He's almost never gonna have the nut boat on the turn. So it's definitely matter to just get the money in on the flop.
yeah, but should he be just like check raise small? Just
He did
make it.
check very small.
He made it 3x. I mean, should you be like trying to check raise smaller to be balanced the times he wants to bluff, or do you think 120 is like also good enough as a bluff? I feel like it's too big. Like,
You can make it a little bit smaller. There is a flush draw on the flop, but it's not a bet sizing thing. It's not something I'd expect out of this player.
okay,
In that spot, by the way, if the board was, let's say, queen, queen, 10, and you had something like ace, queen, jack, 4, I'm probably just flatting to the raise because this player is so passive. He probably only
yeah,
check raises ace, queen, or the boat. But in this spot, you have all the overcards to the four. So
yeah,
even when he does have queen four, you have 40% equity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is so sick about Omaha. Like he flopped the boat. I remember I flopped. The flop came king 5-7, and I had king 6-8 with a flush draw, and I lost to the nut flush draw. That's just you're like flop top set, open end, or not, king high flush draw. You're like, come on, and he just has a nut flush, and he had like king high flush draw. That flush draw was like two backdoor straight draws, so he had like I don't know, like 35% equity.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Set is not too fantastic in Omaha unless you can boat it up, or you can set over set.
Right.
On the right, this hand, guess it's if the trade was an 8, that would be premium, but like or if it was a 4, I don't know if it's a huge deal. I'm gonna 3-bet it.
Yeah. Three betting is fine. This is
Almost as good as it gets, I guess.
yeah, maybe one notch bigger, like you said, would be better if the three was
Yeah,
an eight, but
or
this
like
is fine still.
9-8-7-6 would be super premium.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well we flopped good. Just gonna bet like 60. Like, I mean, if you're wrapping aces, you don't have to bet bigger.
Yeah, but you'd want to bet bigger to get a little bit more money in the
Oh,
pot,
okay. Yeah, we are deep. Yeah,
but
probably.
in this spot, that's not too big of a concern because you're almost never going to be able to play for stacks with this hand.
Yeah. So now turn is really bad. I don't know what he called on the flop is. It has to be a float or a 5 or an ace or ace 5, which is like unlikely. Oh, this is. I mean, he could have floated, given we bet so small on the flop. So I'm gonna call the turn. I don't expect him to bluff the river, given we can have quads. So, I mean, we can have quads, we can have ace king. Yeah.
Right. And the other thing is you have so much equity against an ace there. You have a flush draw, you have a three, six, or
But
seven.
yeah, let's see. How can we lose a hand like I was just talking about top set and open ender and stuff. At 87%. Yeah, we got 40% on the turn.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
can't fold on the turn there.
yeah. And I don't think he will ever bluff the river. Like, just also so easy for us to like get to the river with a super monster, so we don't have to like bluff catch as much.
Right.
Here on the right, do you? Nah, it's not good enough to three bet. Like three bet as a bluff, even it's not good enough. When you get called, post flop playability is just so bad.
Yeah, that hand's a little bit too weak. If it was again a little bit better like the Queen Jack 5-6, you can three bet it.
Okay. This hand also looks better than it is. I guess we can defend so this guy's
Definitely.
now when we get three just mark.
Yeah. Double suited jacks is pretty good though.
Yeah.
You have a king high suit also.
Yeah. If the deuce was a 10, do you call the three bet? We are deep.
Yeah, if the deuce was a 10 or a
Yeah.
9 or a
We,
queen or
we
an
got
ace, I'm either going to be four betting or calling there, usually calling.
yeah. Ah, there we go. Stack 20 bucks spin. He lost his how much? Oh wow, he dropped like 1K already. This is what I was talking about in the first episode. Like it's probably better to go for a check raise than to bet the turn and be called. And yeah, I'm actually gonna go for check raise. I don't think he's got anything that can call a turn bet. Um, and if he's checking back, he doesn't have equity at all. I mean, unless he's got queen 10-9. And I feel like he's just floating with something random, hopefully.
Right. This is a pretty good example of it
Oh, look at this. So sick.
because
Yeah,
when he has
but
queen
but
queen.
yeah, but
Um,
you like to go for a check raise on a turn here.
this one I probably bet because it was a backdoor flush draw that came up, and you also have king 9 there, so you're not as worried about the 10. Um, if the flush draw was on the flop and let's say you had queen jack, so the board pairing with either I think a 3 or a 7 it was is not so good for you. It makes it a little bit better of a spot to go for a check raise, but I think your hand right there is just too good. Um, in terms of a 10 doesn't really bother you, a
Oh
3
yeah,
or
I
7
forgot
doesn't
about a
bother you
10
either.
actually. Yeah.
So I
Did
probably just bet.
Yeah, I was so excited about my set. I didn't even notice I have a gutter as well. Here we just bet fold.
Yeah, pretty standard.
What about barreling this board without the king high, king of clubs? I mean, when if he's check calling, it has to be ace seven, ace six. Maybe not even that. It has to be a set or a flush.
It can be all of those. I think all of those hands he probably check calls. Barreling's okay when you have one
Yeah,
club in your hand in a spot like this.
yeah. Let's see what he has so we know. Wow.
Six.
Oh yeah, top sand, right? No, I just thought he had top pair. Yeah. If you barrel the turn, you get called. Do you give up the river? I mean, he can have a set, yeah, but he can also have a flush.
No, I'm probably betting.
So you bet turn,
When
bet
you,
river.
yeah, usually I'm gonna bet turn, bet river, and the reason for that is a lot of the hands that he calls you on the flop, he's usually gonna call you on the turn also. Sets, a7, flushes,
Okay. Here,
maybe a7 folds, but
yeah. Yeah, ace. I think ace seven folds. The set is calling for sure. Here on the right, I just fold another gun. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. Again,
Okay.
if the six was an eight, you can open that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty good we didn't go to play 25-50 today. Uh,
Running bad.
yeah. On stars, it's just impossible to win. I dropped a day like 80K to a guy in Omaha 25-50 in like 800 hands. He just won almost by in a hand. I would set over set him. He would backdoor flush and stuff. It was insane. Never happens on full tilt. Don't trust stars. Yeah, I don't know. Did you play the this 25K heads up no limit on stars? I didn't
No,
even
I
know
was
I had it running. I forgot about it. You didn't play it?
no, missed it. I was away that weekend.
Yeah. Looked like the field was pretty strong though.
Yeah, I didn't get to see. Ariel was in it.
Yeah. Three betting a hand like this on the right out of position. Is it too loose or can you do it sometimes? Queen 7-5-6 suited to the queen.
I'm usually just gonna fold that almost every time. The reason for that is people just don't really fold the three bets that often in PLO.
So
It's
no
not
fault
like no
equity
limit,
pre-flop.
right? It's not like no limit where you can three bet something like Queen four suited in that spot and have the other guy fold more than half the time.
Yeah.
You're almost
And
always gonna
yeah,
play it
pause
post
flop,
flop.
you just gotta flop it or you like sitting with something like bottom two pair.
Yeah,
And you almost like have to get it in because the pot is so big.
right.
Yeah, look at this. 20 bucks is just oh. Do you think that Omaha No Limit Mix 6 Max would be running uh, if they had it on Stars and Full Tilt? I feel like they have mixed games, but like I don't know how to play stud, so I can't really play.
You're
Uh,
saying no limit Omaha?
yeah, you have heads up tables on Full Tilt, but like no 6 Max tables.
Oh,
Where,
you mean like the hot, like the holder
yeah,
in Omaha?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they would run more often because it's fun to be able to play two games, and a
yeah,
lot of the players that play No Limit these days have at least tried learning PLO.
yeah.
But
Also, people might play it more often because they are like good in Omaha, but don't want to play in No Limit, just strictly No Limit. Mixed games looks like at nosebleeds run just more than anything else.
right.
Yeah, with Gus Hansen. JC looks like he's killing the tables. Also, his stats are super aggressive, but I mean, he's playing in position a lot.
Yeah, it seems like he's playing really loose aggro.
Yeah, 80% button raise. So looks like he knows what he's doing for the most part. Those kings, if you get 3-bet by a 20 bucks spin, I mean, we gotta just call this deep. We can't
Yeah.
really 4-bet. 100 big blinds, do you 4-bet those kings though?
Probably not. The double pairs play really good calling three bets as opposed to four betting because if you four bet, you're gonna have to fold if you five bets, which
Yeah,
kind of sucks. Um, but when you call again, one fourth of the
yeah,
time, you're gonna flop a set, and about another eighth of the time, so about like 35% of the time or so, you're gonna have flopped either a set or a flush draw. That's pretty good.
right. If you have like king, king, 9, 8 suited to the king, do you 4-bet that? Rather call.
Um, I would be more inclined to four bet that, but single suited, again, I'm probably just gonna call.
Okay, given you can flop flush draw with an overpair.
Right, and it's a pretty coordinated hand, so you can flop you can hit some flops
Yeah,
where you don't necessarily have to hit a king or a flush draw to win.
yeah. Now, guy's leading. I mean, I haven't seen him lead, but like we don't have anything. Also, guy behind us, and his
Right.
lead. Actually, he leads like 25%, but I haven't seen it.
He was the guy that led against you when we had the set of nines.
No, he was pre-flop raiser when he bet the flop.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
two-thirds pot.
yeah. A hand like this here, ace, king, 5, 5, suited to the ace, pocket fives, like I don't know if it's like even bad to have a pair of fives in case you flop a set, you just don't know what to do on some boards, which can get bad on a turn and river. And also here in a spot like this, I feel like I have to call. We are closing the action, suited ace, ace, king. But I'm not too sure about because we have 2 5s in our hand.
Right. This is a much better hand to flat than it is to three bet with the fives in your hand.
Yeah. But even calling pre-flop is probably to lose. I mean, we have a suited ace, so it's not really to lose. But without a suited ace, it should be a fold, right?
Right. Without the suited ace, it's definitely a fold. With a suited ace, when you have a suited ace plus a pair, you can usually play most pots for at least one raise.
Yeah. He c bets 90%, so we're gonna check raise the flop. We can have a 6 easily. Huh, he's timing out.
Yeah, this is not a bad spot to check, right? And
Yeah.
even if he does call you with
We
trip
got backdoor.
sixes or like an ace or or aces or kings or like ace queen or something like that, you have some outs against that. You have you can hit a five to make a boat.
Also, he bets so small. I mean, maybe he's just balancing that, but like most people, I feel like in Omaha bet smaller when they want to bet fold. On the right, I opened it under the on a cutoff. I mean, suited ace, 3 high cards.
Yeah, very standard. Pretty much gonna play that from any position.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet big on the flop. This guy is super nitty. I mean, if he check raises here, it's just like that's gonna be yeah. Actually, against this guy Henry from Estonia, if he is check raising, let's see this flop. I guess peel one street, but I'm not even happy peeling one street.
Oh, I would definitely fold. This guy seems so tight.
Yeah,
Even if you had like ace seven here, I would just
you will
fold against
fold.
him.
Yeah,
Minimum he's gonna have ace seven with a flush draw.
yeah, and you might have a set. So like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's gonna have a set. He's not even check raising ace seven. Here I'm just gonna bet with a gut shot. Uh, just gonna get actually bet bigger. Um, We got almost the nuts of the nuts on the right. Uh, Actually, I don't know what's better, aces and queens, or like ace queen jack. Feels like ace queen jack can has more playability in terms of making straights.
Right. They're both probably about equal in value. They're both really good hands.
Yeah.
From the button on this table, you're probably going to be playing like top 80% of hands or so. Even though JC Ace is playing really loose aggro, his three bet's only 8%,
Yeah.
and
And we are deep.
lucky
We can.
TC hasn't three bet once in 72 hands.
Yeah. He seems like loose calling. Also, we can call so many three bets, so it's like
Right.
not a disaster. So compared to No Limit, would you say you have to like to place a button more in Omaha, given you can just snap any three bet, especially deep as if in No Limit you like sort of have to four bet. You can just like open call ace four off,
Right. Definitely, you're going to be playing more buttons in PLO than in No Limit.
even against people who are three betting like a lot. You like sort of have to be tighter in No Limit, but can still be loose in Omaha.
Against like really aggressive three betters, you can maybe narrow it down to like
Yeah, yeah,
60% or so.
yeah, or like min raise, or like limp
Right.
call. So we bet the flop. I mean, he's check raising pot. We just like, I don't know. Would you say it's a good spot for him to bluff?
It's not too bad of a spot because you're never gonna have like a huge draw that's gonna call. I mean, Queen Jack 10's only a nine adder and there's a flush draw on the board, so it's not that bad of a spot.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you can't really do anything about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Agreed. Like, yeah, it feels like it is easier to represent hands in Omaha than it is in a limit, especially when the turn completes the draw almost every time, and you
Right,
can
because
have it
when you check raise in that spot, you can, I mean,
barrel.
have so many hands that you're check raising for value there. You could have King Nine, you could have a set, you could have like top pair with a flush draw, you can have Queen Jack 10 with a flush draw. There's just way too many hands.
Yeah, but he's not check raising just a naked king nine, right? He's check raising like king nine, 10 jack, or like king.
Right,
Actually, king nine with a flush draw is the minimum two pair that he's check
right.
raising.
King Nine Jack 10, I think he might check raise.
Right. Yeah. I'm just peeling here. I mean, we are getting like one, two, what is that? Six, seven
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. Against the min raise, I'd peel there too.
Yeah. Here we've got a premium hand.
Definitely.
I got a three bet. Now I'm just bet folding the turn here. We turned like two pair, but yeah, I mean, just bet fold and hopes I don't have 10 jack as much. I think JC bets 10 jack on a flop a lot, and lucky TC probably C bets it. So river is interesting. I feel like ace
I'd probably
jack.
bluff. I'd
You
probably bluff the
bluffed?
river.
Ah,
Yeah.
I feel like we have the best hand. I was gonna say,
Sometimes he can have King Nine, King Queen though, King Six.
yeah, interesting. I was gonna say that probably check calling river is also okay, given he can bluff his busted ace jack. On the left, though, I feel like I don't even want to bet. So easy to get it in for used to be good. Actually, we might bet like 60. Nah, I'm just gonna check and give up. Also, we have a gutter actually, so we can turn a flush draw as well. I don't know. Do you prefer betting the flop?
It's close because if you bet you may be committed against used to be good with
Yeah,
the
that's the
double
problem.
gutter, although probably
Oh,
not.
actually, yeah, double gutter. Yeah, I didn't.
I
Yeah,
usually I usually would just bet the flop. I don't think JC Ace Ace can ever bluff raise you there because used to be good still acting.
yeah,
So I think that's one good thing about betting there. And then used to be good, I think is probably going to play pretty straightforward
yeah.
because he's going
Now
to have
the turn is
river.
like really dirty. I mean, if you lose to a boat, like how much does he have a boat? Jack nine, pocket jacks, queens, queen nine. I mean, he can have actually a lot of boats, but like, what do you do if he bets a river? I feel like gotta be a call. I mean, he bets a turn into two players, and we call. So
Right. Depends
yeah,
on his sizing. If he bombs the river, if he bets like 450, I'm definitely folding because I mean he's never value betting the same hand. If he
yeah.
bets half pot, you have to call because he can have king 10.
Okay, he might value bet king ten. Yeah,
If you want to play out uncheck
right,
auto post, we can probably cut this episode.
right.
Queen Queen Jack 10.
Yeah. Oh, he gets
Good
three.
hand.
Come on, they're deep.
I definitely
Ooh,
I definitely like just calling there.
yeah. This is a common spot. I don't know what to do deep. If you lead, I mean it. Like we have a rev as a flush draw, but not a net flush draw. So like feel like getting it in is beauty on the flop. Therefore, we just call if he bets.
Yeah, I'd probably just call if he bets. It's really frustrating because
Yeah.
when he has aces with the nut
With
flush draw, he's
and we,
favored against you.
yeah, actually, we can call and just bluff even like a ten. We can bluff so many. I mean, with the ten, we makes it straight. But like we
Yeah,
can bluff so.
most of the cards that you're gonna bluff are gonna make you a straight.
Yeah,
But you can bluff
we can bluff with a five.
yeah, you can bluff a five.
Yeah. So like,
That's about
and our visibility for the outs that we need is just pretty clear.
yeah.
And betting flop was a plan to like barrel turn, and even if he check raises a flop, we can like call or
Oh, definitely. Way
yeah.
too much equity.
Yeah, so we bet the flop. If the turn is a blank, we just barrel him off aces with, I don't know,
Yeah, like
eight.
ace ace 9 10 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pretty standard. All right, that's gonna be it for episode 3. Again, if you guys have any questions, post them in the video thread and we'll respond to them. And tune in next week for episode 4.
Good luck, guys.